Open world, pixelated, gunslinging. We're taking a quick peek at Westerado, double-barreled. In 2013, a development team calling themselves the Ostrich Banditos released a small browser game on Adult Swim's website called Westerado. In it, you played as a cowboy, hunting down the man who killed his family and burned his ranch. What made Westerado stand out was how you went by finding the culprit. You had to gather clues as to what the murderer looked like before you could face him. Or you could just go around shooting everyone, hoping that one of them would eventually be the murderer. Helping people would grant you with clues, and the NPCs in the game's mostly open world would both react and remember your actions. While the game was good, if not a little buggy here and there, the Ostrich Banditos weren't finished with the idea just yet, and after 2 more years of work, they released Westerado Double-Barreled. This isn't the first time that Adult Swim has aided and published a larger, more substantial version of one of the games on their website. Previously, they had published titles such as Super House of Dead Ninjas, as well as Super Puzzle Platformer Deluxe. But Westerado Double-Barreled is a bit different to those. Not only does it not have the prefix of Super in its title, it's also not a high-score focused arcade game, like many of Adult Swim's previously published titles are. Instead, Westerado Double-Barreled takes all the concepts from the original game and expands on them, allowing you to basically create your own story every time you play the game. You can decide to aid the local town's bank manager for clues, or just shoot him and rob the bank. You can aid the local oil tycoon for clues, or just shoot him and steal all of his cash. You can get the local gang to stop being jerks and start doing some honest work, or just kill them all so they'll stop bothering the town. Of course, you'll have to deal with the fallout of whichever decision you make, and unlike other games, people don't forget what you've done when you die. You best make sure that you want to do what you do, because the only way to undo it is to start a new save file. It's rather easy to mess yourself up if you aren't paying attention, and make gathering clues kind of difficult to do. That's not to say that you never want to shoot anybody, as there are points in the game where you aren't actually given a choice. Westerado's shooting mechanics are a little bit strange and hard to get used to. While your character can move in 8 directions, you can only shoot to the left or the right. This helps to simplify the shooting mechanics, since in order to actually fire your gun, you have to manually load the pistol bullet by bullet, as well as cock the hammer between each shot. It can be complicated to do in a frantic or panic situation, such as you getting surrounded, so only having to worry about firing in 2 directions or being shot at from 2 directions is great. But it does make aiming rather difficult. Out of the 5 weapons available in the game, only one of them gives you any kind of aiming assistance. For everything else, you have to visually see where your gun is compared to what you have to hit. Mastering aiming can be beneficial not only to keep yourself alive, but also thanks to the magics of hats. Hats are your life in Westerado. Every time you get hit, you lose a hat. Get hit without one and you are dead. This only works for your character though, as enemies will die in 1 hit, as long as they're not a boss. But that doesn't mean that their hats aren't important. Recreating your favorite spaghetti western scene by shooting the hats off of your enemies' heads will cause them to surrender. It also lets you pick up their hat and gives you an extra life. This is a really great way to go about the lives system, since you can always get more lives based off of your own skill. Surrendered enemies can either be left alone, or you can shoot them anyway. Sometimes you will actually have to make enemies surrender if you're going after somebody on a wanted poster, but making them surrender can be really annoying, since you then have to escort them back to the jail. And the AI in this game is not smart. It is rather infuriating to actually take somebody any matter of distance to take them to the jail. It's a lot easier just to shoot them. Something that's really annoying with the game is the fact that it doesn't tell you what the pause button is in its controls. I actually found it accidentally, just by pressing the random buttons on my keyboard. If I press the P key, I can then take a look at my map, my journal, my clues, and my quests. Before that, I had no idea what I was supposed to be doing or where any of my stuff was located, so it would be really nice to see if they could add that into the game's actual control menu. Westerado does a great job of letting players really play with the environment that the Ostrich Banditos has created for them. Unlike other open-world games, it's not so large as to be intimidating, nor is it so small as to quickly get boring. With a good amount of replayability as well as unlockable characters that change how you need to play the game, Westerado Double Barreled brings a lot to the table, and I would definitely suggest giving it a look. Thanks for watching. Please let me know what you think about this game or this video in the comments section. I'm MegapieMan, and I'll talk to you guys later. Having an objective and the way the Get to the Chopper maps are laid out, human players naturally work together, as they have to make any progress, and dinosaurs are drawn to specific points instead of being all over the place. There's even a break from the big